Oh god. All right, so there's two halves to this. There's two halves to this video. The first one is me coming back and we've just won 3-2. Maguire slotting it home like prime Ronaldo. Ronaldo jumping and leaping like prime Ronaldo. And Rashford calmly slotting one in. And Ollie's back. Put it on the table. Let him write whatever number he wants. Right, there's that side of it, which is brilliant, right? I'm absolutely over the moon that we somehow managed to come back from that game, right? He took off Greenwood, he put on the correct right winger, he added on Pogba, he added on Matic, and surprise, surprise, we looked a lot better and we won the game, right? So I'm obviously absolutely buzzing with one. I still think that if you were to replay that exact same game 10 times, we'd probably lose. And we shouldn't be getting outplayed by Atalanta. Anyway, they've got like 6 people injured and missing. Right? So that's the initial reaction is I'm absolutely buzzing. We've managed to win. We're not going in the Europa League, hopefully. Leave a like, leave a comment. Appreciate you supporting the zone. It's a new channel. And then the second half of the video is what you're about to watch is I recorded it at halftime, and I decided to record it at halftime because I knew that if we somehow turned this round, I was going to say I should judge it and I should be like, regardless of how badly or how good we play in the second half, you know, it remains the same. We played poorly, we got outplayed. It's not acceptable. Realistically, it's not sustainable to win games like this. But obviously, because we've just won, I'm absolutely fucking over the moon, and I can't help it. I'm a Man United fan. I fucking love seeing Ronaldo leap up in the air and score a winner. But right, so this is the post-match buzzing, brilliant. Then you're going to see what I was thinking first half, and maybe you can compare the two. So let me know what you think. Hey folks, and welcome to the zone. Today we're doing a very different one. We're doing a post-match reaction as normal. However, it's half time and I don't know the result. So how am I going to do a post-match reaction without knowing the result? Well, frankly, the result is utterly irrelevant. I don't even care if we end up getting something out of that match. That was horrendous. And even if we get something out of it, that's 1 clean sheet in 20. So let's pull up the notes and let's just think about what I saw in this first half. And then I'll add on the second half thoughts when we get to it. But I've got to speak on this as it goes because it was so irritating. So number 1, okay, we're just going to jot down, we'll go through all of the notes. Number 1, 3 times the commentator said, yep, this is a good team, but it's not a team that can win the Champions League, but I do think they can get out of the groups. Now, why is that? Why can't this squad win anything? Because the coaching. 6 minutes in, their team has played it through us 3 times. And without the ball, we do not act like a proper team. We don't get in a tight shape. We don't act anything like any other top team does, and our selection matches that. We're not interested in what happens without the ball, and honestly we're not really interested what happens with the ball. It's always just a counter-attack. One thing I'm going to note here is Ronaldo has yet to waste the ball. Everyone else just shoots. There has been so many counter-attacks, not just this match but this season, where we try to complete it in one heroic pass. So the ball comes in, the counter-attack's on, and it's just the hero ball and then a shot. It never works. 14 minutes in, we've been walked through again, and then surprise, they get a corner and score. It's sorry, they get a shot and they score. It's that infuriating. I'm jumping ahead here. But giving a team the whole pitch, giving them all the ball and taking out your core midfielders, what's going to happen? Now, no, I'll put a screenshot up here. And this is what I said before the game began. So this is, you know, my honest thoughts. I said the following. Let me scroll up and find it because it was just really infuriating. I said, I would argue that Tellez on form is our best left back. I would argue Dalot has been playing better than Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Defensively has been just as good, and attacking-wise he's been better. Lingard has, I think, scored 3 and 3, and every time he plays he looks dangerous. I'm not even a Lingard fan, but on form, he's been one of our better attackers. Pogba He's been a brilliant midfielder, 7 assists, and he's been brilliant for France. Matic has been our best defensive midfielder, and you could argue Cavani has been our best striker. You could also argue that Sancho, although maybe people have been saying that he's not been very good, you would say he's our best right winger. Mason Greenwood isn't a right winger. He doesn't play like a right winger. He's not a creative. He doesn't come back and help out the team shape. He is a forward. And you could argue that we don't know what Van der Beek is like as a midfielder, but would he be any worse than Scott and Fred? Well, I can't tell you that because I've never seen the guy play, unlucky. But you could argue that the entire bench is stronger than our outfield. Okay, but let's say he's picked the right team. Now, Lindelof in a one-on-one, he's goal side and he lets him turn. But I'll be honest, it's not his fault. It's this utterly shit setup. When the goal is scored, Lindelof's left back, Shaw is centre back, Maguire's not in frame, and Fred and McTominay are scrambling back. Now, McFred does not shield anything. There's nothing to shield with this setup. It's also really difficult to judge a player's skill when they're in such a shit setup. How many players have you seen throughout the years of football, you know, that you've thought to yourself, wow, that player's not very good? Then they get in the right system with the right coaching and they completely transform. So I'm not going to shit on any of the players here, even though I might criticize them. The overall theme I want you to remember is it's really hard to judge someone in a shit setup, because let's take Firmino, for example. If Burnley or Man U had Firmino, people would be saying, oh, you know, he's just a bad player. You can't do anything else with Firmino. He's awful. But you pop him in with Klopp setup, brilliant. Just seeing us waste another chance, by the way, as I'm currently watching this live. So Carrick is sat with his fucking headphones on every match. What is the guy listening to? I'd love to fucking know what he's listening to. Now, a proper manager would instill a style, and he'd boot out those that don't work in his style. But he doesn't have a style, so he just plays everyone occasionally. And again, it was like 5 changes one week, then 5 changes for Leicester, then it's like 3 or 4 changes for this game. 19 minutes in, absolutely awful, 1-0 down, doing shocking, and the manager still isn't on the touchline screaming to wake the fuck up, because, by the way, guys, you're currently bottom of the group. Again, Ronaldo is yet to waste a ball. He's a top player. I don't care what people say. At 21 minutes in is our first proper build-up into a shot. People will mistake having shots, and they'll mistake having attacks as attacking. It's not. Having a shot and having a random chance that happens out of just thin air is not attacking. That's just being living in the moments and being awake to moments. And also, just shooting might not even be the right choice. Now, I'm asking here, can Bruno actually play as a third midfielder, or is he just going to play as a second striker the entire game? But it's not his fault, because if no one's telling him what to do, he's going to be up there. For all we know, he's going to be instructed to be further forward, because I don't think he's doing it by accident. He doesn't do it for Portugal. So we seem very scared to hold the ball. We always have done. We always rush attacks. We're terrified to build up play. 24 minutes in, we must have had about 12 shots, but again, that's not really attacking. I would wonder what the XG is at 25 minutes. That would be interesting to look at. I don't know how you look that up, but if someone could tell me in the comments, what is the XG at 25 minutes of this match? Because you would think with all our shots and quote creative, we'd have a load, but I bet we don't. I'd like to say that even though I just said that I wouldn't shit on a player because it's really hard to judge them in a setup, I think we can all judge Aaron Wan-Bissaka by now. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is decent enough defensively, but always gets caught with the ball over the top. Maybe a better manager can tweak that and help him out. But he's dog shit going forwards. He is an awful modern day fullback. He is. I'm sorry. You would get more look out of Dalot. Now, Dalot isn't fantastic either, but you would get a lot more luck over the course of a season. Again, I've just watched in the 49th minute, 50 seconds, ball comes out from a corner, gets the flick on, and instead of rebuilding the attack, Rashford just shoots from 30 yards out. So, we're literally giving them the entire game to counter at this point. And we're rushing it, and we're rushing it, and we're rushing it, and we're giving the ball away. They're playing through all our space. McFred isn't shielding anything because there's nothing to shield, and they have poor instructions and the poor players. It's a trilogy of bad things. Bad player, nothing in front of him, and bad instructions. And what happens? They get a corner, and they score. It's pointless. Somebody remind me what McFred offers I can't believe we're going out of the Champions League with Matic, Van der Beek and Pogba sat on the bench. Teams these days aren't shit. You can't just give them the ball and give them the entire field and expect not to concede. I would say these days it's gone from you try and keep a clean sheet to you just try and score 2 goals, because even the world's best teams are going to let one in. It's just like teams are good at attacking now. They're good at exploiting your weakness. So you've got to create proper chances. Relying on that one moment doesn't work. Now, Robbie Savage at the moment, this would have been just before half time, is saying, quote, "You play for Man United, do something special, put a tackle in." Now, I hate to break it to you, Robbie, but that's exactly why we're in the position that we're in. That's not what we need. We need proper coaching, proper instructions, proper selections. The team that's picked here isn't good. Now, again, I'm going to upset some Man United fans, but Greenwood is a superb forward, but he shouldn't be in the team. You're going to be like, what are you talking about? Because if we want to win things, he's not a right winger. He doesn't do the things that right wingers do. And I'll be that idiot online that says that Dan James was better than him. And people will be like, what are you talking about? There's no way Dan James was better than him. In our system, he was. He was. Because our system is simply, you know, we need him more defensively. We're always going to get the odd random goal with counterattacks. Now, I'm not sat here saying he is the better player, because he's not. But given no instructions and just putting them in as a right winger, Dan James would perform better. He'd aid us more. I think there was a stat that we'd barely ever lost with Dan James. Why? Because his off-the-ball work rate. Now, people will mistake picking extra defenders as being defensive. And this is like, I remember what Rick the Red said, if you know who Rick the Red is off the United stand. And it's true. Picking extra defenders in many ways can make you more attacking, because it gives you more rigidity, more solidity, and allows you to build attacks. Again, I'm not saying, look, we should have kept Dan James and got rid of Greenwood or something crazy like that. But I'm saying, geez, man, like, pick a selection. If this is your team, there's too many attackers. There's way too many attackers. I don't know who you're dropping or whatever, but too many attackers. Now, last 2 minutes of the first half, Fred, the man that can't shoot, decides to not pass to Ronaldo and shoots, and, you know, we have Ronaldo, the best finisher of all time. It's not disputable. We won't pass to him. And then in the very last kick of the first half, this time Rashford decides to shoot instead of square it across. And Ronaldo looks livid. He knows he's going to be playing in the Europa League. He knows he's going to be pissed off. And I looked to the manager, and the manager was having a wry laugh. He was having a wry laugh, kind of like, oh, another piece of bad luck. It's not bad luck. Now, at the moment, as I'm talking to you, it's the 53rd minute, and we've managed to pull a goal back. And this is how it's going to go. We're going to get up for it. We're going to really go for it. Again, more and more and more counterattacks. Now, here's the thing as well. Here's what people are forgetting. Even if by some miracle we win this match, it's not sustainable. If you want to win titles and Champions Leagues, which used to be the standards of this club, right? You had to be consistent, right? You had to be super consistent to win a league and a title. Getting outplayed by young boys in Atalanta, whether you end up winning the game or not, it's not sustainable. You can't keep doing that. You can't keep letting teams outplay you. Eventually, you'll lose, and that's what's happening right now. Now, obviously, I'm a massive United fan. I hope we're going to win this game. I'm going to stop rambling now, and you know, I probably won't talk about the second half. I hope we've won by the time we're watching this. If we've won, I'll be really pleased. But my what's the word? My opinion won't change depending on the result. That's how I like to judge football. I don't think we've played well at all this game. I think it's a poor selection, and this is just another example of Ole football. Rush the attack, chop and change still. And remember, this has been 3 to 4 years, and he still doesn't seem to know what his best team is. So look, I hope we win. I hope we win every game. I'm a Man United fan. But it was another dreadful performance, and I guess that's my reaction to this match. It doesn't matter what the end result's going to be. I hope when I post this, it's been a positive one, but I don't think it will be.